adding and subtraction of mixed numbers. So I want to do one of these examples here on this first row, and then we're going to do some application problems. So let's just look at the first one. In order to add or subtract, actually that one, well, we'll do two of them. So to add or subtract, we need a common denominator, least common denominator. However, we notice they're written in mixed form. So let's go ahead and convert it to an improper fraction first. And what don't change is the denominator. So now I'm going to say 25 times 4, which is 100 plus 12. So it's 112. 25 times 1 plus that 19 is going to be 25 plus 19. It's 44. Now, something I meant to say and I didn't is whenever we're converting a mixed number to improper, to find our numerator, the denominator doesn't change. We're going to take the denominator times that whole number plus the old numerator, right? All right, so now that I've done that, I noticed that in order to add or subtract, we have to have a common denominator, at least common denominator. In this case here, they're both the same, so that saved us a lot of work. So I'm going to take the numerators. I got 112 minus that 44 gives me 68 over 25. Now, you always want to make sure that you got your answer in simplest form. If not, you need to reduce, but in this case, we do. So I want to look at this one here. Let's solve it. Well, you notice the denominators are different. They are in mixed number form. So let's go ahead and convert it to improper. And what doesn't change is the denominator. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that down. And I'm going to say the denominator times this whole number. So I got 4 times 12. And then I'm going to add on the 3, which gives me 51. And then this next one is 10 times 7, which is 70 plus 9 is 79. Now, I have a 4 in the denominator and a 10 in the denominator, and I need to find the least common denominator. So 4 is made up of 2 squared. 10 is 2 times 5. So in order to determine my least common denominator, I'm going to pick the 2 squared, and I'm going to multiply it to the 5. So that's 4 times 5, which is 20. So I'm going to multiply this fraction here by 5 over 5 because I want 20 in the denominator. 5 times 4 is 20. And this one here, I'm going to multiply 2 over 2. So 2 times 10 is 20. Now, whatever I did to this bottom to get the 20, I have to do to the top. You can't just change part of it. So now I got 20 in the denominator. Excuse me. So I got 5 times 51 minus 79 times 2. So 5 times 51 is 255 minus that 79 times 2, which is 158, all divided by 25. Now, so I got 225 minus that 158 all over 25. It gives me 67/25, and it does not reduce down. It says 67. My apologies. My handwriting gets a little sloppy on me. All right. So now let's talk about this application right here. B, it says we have a triangle that's measuring 3 1/3 meters, 5 4/5 meters, and 7 14/15 meters. We're going to find the perimeter of a triangle. To find the perimeter of a triangle, we have to add up all the sides. So I'm going to take that 3 1/3 plus the 5 4/5 plus the 7 14/15. I'm going to go ahead and convert these to mixed numbers, or excuse me, they are a mixed number. I'm going to convert them to improper. And I do apologize on these ones above here. I should have went ahead and converted them back to a mixed number because, you know, since we started in mixed numbers, there's a good chance that your homework assignment will require you to put it in a mixed number form. So I'll come back to these two that I just finished working, okay? Let's go ahead and finish what I started here. So I'm going to go ahead and write down the denominators because I know that they don't change. And then I'm going to say, oh, okay. This denominator times this whole number is 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1 is 10. So I got a new numerator. Then I got 5 times 5 is 25 plus 4 is 29. And then this next one I have is 15 times 7, which is 105 plus that 14, which is 119. Okay, so now I want to determine what's the least common denominator. Well, I notice I have a 3, I have a 5, they're both prime. And if I multiply them together, it gives me 15, which is perfect because I have 15 in this last term. So I only have to change these two here. So 3 times 5 is 15, and what you do to the bottom, we do to the top. 3 times 5 is 15, and what I do to the bottom here, I have to do to the top. So I got 15 in the denominator. Now I have 5 times that 10 plus 3 times that 29 plus the 119. So we can clean it up just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and write it all over. So I have 5 times 10, which is 50, plus that 3 times that 29, plus that 119, all over the 15. And it's going to give me a 256 15ths. Now, since they have been writing everything in mixed numbers in this section, we need to go ahead and convert this to a mixed number. Remember, only improper fractions will convert with a mixed number. So what I need to do is I need to determine how many times will 15 go into 256. And when I divide it out, I know that 17 times that 15 will give me 255. And 256, this numerator here, minus 255 is 1. So this is my answer in mixed number form. So knowing that, let's come over here and do this one. So if I say 67 divided by 25, it's going to give me 2 times that 25, which is 50, right? So 50 minus that 68 is going to give me 18. So this is my mixed number. So just make sure that you're able to convert these in between, okay? Back and forth. I got one more application I'd like to do in this section. This one here is a rectangle. So whenever we're finding a perimeter of a rectangle, it's going to be, you could do 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, or we can say 2 times and then add the length plus the width. Okay, we could do that. So let's do that. So I get 2 times, and it's 26 2/5 plus the 7 1/4. So I'm going to convert inside this parentheses. I'm going to go ahead and convert this to improper fractions. So the denominator is what doesn't change. So let's go ahead and write it down. And now I have 5 times that 26. So 5 times 26 gives me 130, and I'm going to add 2 to it, gives me 132. And now I have excuse me, I almost said the answer. I have 4 times 7, which is 28, plus 1 is 29. And now I have 5 in the denominator and 4 in the denominator, and I need to find the least common multiple. I know that 5's prime, so if I said 5 times 4, right, it's going to give me 20. And remember, what we do to one part, we have to do to the other. So I have 2 times. I got 4 times that 132 over 20. And that's going to be, I'm going to go ahead and write it all over 20. And then it's 29 times 5. All right, so let's clean this up. I have 4 times 132. And you may need to use parentheses. If you're going to do it all in one setting, I would use parentheses just to separate each part. So that way, because your calculator don't know order of operations, it just knows what you put in it. So that's what I would do. Okay, so now I have 2 times that 11993, or excuse me, not 100, 1,993 over 20. And now when I multiply that, I could put a 1 underneath that 2. And I notice the 2 and 20s reduce, right? So now I have 1993 divided by 10. And that in decimal form is 199.3. In fraction form, that's 1,993 over 10. If I was to convert that to mixed number form, That's 199 because it's the number in front of the decimal, right? That's what goes there. So when I do that, now that leaves me with, oh, don't forget the denominator is 10, right? Now we need to find the numerator. So 199 times that 10 gives me 1,990. And I'm going to subtract it from this 1993, which gives me 3. Thank you.